Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So, you're probably wondering, what are we doing today? Or, hey, you looked at the title and you're like, wait, didn't you already do a farming video a few weeks ago? Yes, I did. But I'm not too happy with that one. I kind of went all over the place and it was very unscripted. Today's still unscripted. One of these days I'll start making scripts. But I have a bit more here. I've gotten further in the game. There's a very real possibility a month from now when I've beaten the game and I'm in the post game that I'll come back and do a master level one on this, but I wanted to do a bit better of a guide here on the farm. So here we are in my playthrough, not the stream one, but the regular one. As you can see, I'm on the day 6 of spring, second year. So, start of your day, boom, 6 a.m. What do you do? Well, sometimes you'll see a message saying, you sense a presence up in the attic or something like that. If you come up here, you'll see that something that you've done has got you one of these trophies. As far as I can tell, this one is based on your farming. This one is based on travel, as best I can guess. This one is based on Ferry Orders. And then this one's my newest one. As you can see, it's bronze still. And that is based on killing the fear enemies. There's probably one here that I'm missing. So, if you don't see that, first thing you should do is absolutely come over and check your Ferry Orders. In Chapter 3, you will unlock uh, your first fairy, your fire fairy, and then as you do each of the three main story chunks of that chapter, you'll unlock wind, water, and earth. You'll get these fairy orders, which are, as you can see, just things you're gonna do anyways. Harvesting various crops, let's see. There's some here for like completing the side quests in the respective village of each fairy, upgrading your backpack, getting a kitchen counter, making your fermenting barrel, cooking, crafting, etc. So, you can see I've got harvest that, and you get these upgrades. This is going to be where you get most of your improvements to your farm. Um, there's a lot of complaints out there. One of which that is kind of valid, kind of not, is that this game, that the farming is kind of tacked on. It's more of a JRPG with the farming to it, which is true. The game is much more heavily JRPG focused. But I don't know that I would go so far as to say that the farming itself is completely tacked on. It's not as in-depth as something like Rune Factory or Stardew Valley. The game isn't focused on that way, though. It's more focused on the JRPG. But there is some depth to the farming. So, do that. That's where you get your new abilities. Each fairy gives a ability for one of 4/5 aspects of your farming. Your fire fairy will upgrade your hoe. So, that'll let you do like this here. I've got it already equipped. Instead of just doing this, you can come over here and charge it up. 1x3, 3x3, so on. It's also going to reduce the stamina use for it. Your wind fairy will be for both planting and harvesting crops. So you'll start seeing, hey, okay, instead of just picking up one crop at a time, I can go here to a 3x3 to a 5x5, which I just unlocked. And whichever fairy it gives you will talk while you're doing it. So, for example, if I'm going to come over here and do the water thing from the water fairy, she'll appear when it does that. And she'll have her little talk of, drink up lovelies. And finally, your earth fairy will get you a charge up for breaking the really big rocks that are blocking your field until you get her. For that reason, most of these games, you don't want to rush the story. You just want to take your time. But this one, I'm absolutely going to recommend. Rush through at least chapter 3, maybe even chapter 5. Because their fairies give you so much good stuff. That's why I would say chapter 3. I'm going to say chapter 5, maybe even, because if you look at your kitchen counter, you can see, okay, you've got these 4. These are the 4 cities that you have access to, like, through chapter 3. Lethe, Nemea, Shatola, and Argent. Here's a 5th one that you'll unlock. And this place is where you're going to get some good upgrades. You're going to get some new seeds that you don't have access to. You're going to get some recipes, as you can see. You're also going to get the crafting recipes for over here for repair kits and bombs at level 2. You are definitely going to want these, especially the repair kit level 2 is going to come up a lot through chapter 6. But even having one of each of these, and you'll need to progress through chapter 6 to get the ingredient for the bombs, which I'll talk about here in a few minutes. But you'll want those because that's going to unlock more areas on your farm. Speaking of unlocking more areas on your farm, as you unlock more fairies, you'll unlock more areas here that you can travel to. So you can see I've got, when you start, you'll have just farm, waterside biome, hilltop, and old well. Those are the only places you'll have access to. Waterside biome won't actually be the waterside biome though. When you first get the game here, what will happen, instead of having the water here, this spot here is going to be like a little canyon, and you'll see the farm over here on this side, but you won't access it. What happens is once you've unlocked both your water and your wind fairies, which are Nemia and Shatola respectively, then a day or two, you'll have one day you'll get the water, your most recent fairy, and then the next day they'll have, when you come outside, they'll say, hey, check out this place, and they'll give you a brief explanation of it. The way the biomes work is that you can plant seeds there, spring, summer, fall. Most of the seeds for them will grow all 3 seasons. They do not require water. These ones here will obviously be watered already, and in your other biome, they like dry stuff. One of the things that it doesn't tell you is that there's kind of a theme to these. So you can see I've got honey flowers, nectar canes, and the coconuts. All 3 of these can be used in the dessert maker, and I'll talk about that in another video. That's one I'm working on. I want to get to summer first for that. But you can access dessert things. So honey flowers will make syrup, nectar cane will make sugar, and the coconuts will make coconut milk. Also, when you unlock this biome, you'll come this hill up here, where you will unlock another place on the map, which is listed as the Suspicious Lake. You'll come over here and they'll say, hey, come fish, and you'll get to talk to this Sahagan. He'll give you a side quest. It works just like the cooking recipe turn-ins for the various taverns, where you can hand over fish and get things. When he unlocks it, he'll give you level 2 fishing skill, which will allow you to, first off, get these rarer fish, as well as allow you to start getting higher quality fish of all types. As you complete this quest line, like I think it was after the 3rd one of these that I did, he'll give you a level 3 fishing. So he'll give you increased levels, which increase your chances of getting higher and higher quality fish. There's only the one high quality, but you know what I mean. This also pays good money. It starts at 5,000 per fish you turn in, and I think it caps out at 10,000 for the final one. But you get good recipes there, and you can even come talk to him. He'll say, you chat, and he'll tell you, oh, rare fish live in the village. When it's fall, rare fish will come out. So, hey, go to Leffe Village in the fall and fish there, and you have a good chance to catch one of your rare fish. And you can chat with him for different fish on things. So if I chat again, rare fish live on the hill, So telling you, hey, you can fish on the property here. Now, once you unlock your Earth Fairy, this is the holy capital of Argent, because you already get fire at the start of Chapter 3, you'll unlock the Cave Biome, which is very similar to the Water Biome in that, they've got the 3 seasons, but you have a bunch of things here that you can plant. These ones are kind of more spice-based, like Suder peppers and curry herbs. You put those in your spice maker. But there's others, and just with the other, the waterside biome, you'll have ones that are like that too. You'll have like watermelons that grow in summer. Here you'll have revel peppers and nitro pineapples that you can grow for other things. The nitro pineapples are one of the ingredients that you need for the level 2 bombs. And these seeds you get through gathering in a place in Chapter 6. So, again, advancing the story will advance your things. Now, one advantage of the cave biome that the waterside doesn't have is you have access to up here. These 2 spots you can mine always give you ore. Copper ore, silver ore, gold ore. Once you have your repair kits for level 2, which you'll get the recipe in level 5, you can buy it from a general store there at that extra city, and then get the ingredients for it through chapter 6, you'll have access to this place, which has 2 chests. One of these will have the Echo Stone for, I believe this one is the fighter class, it might be the mage class. There's a second place, there's 2 places for those 2 classes on the farm. But the other one, which is the bomb, I'll show you, is from the farm. Come up here from near the farm. You left your farmhouse and you come out here to the left past these, where you have basically your coops or barns. We'll talk about those in a little bit. And you'll see back here there was a wall that you had to blow up. It was a level 2 bomb. Back here will be 2 more chests, and that'll be your other Echo Stone plus some other stuff, as well as these Sacred Lumber. These always have Sacred Lumber. You're going to need those for making level 3 crafting supplies. Or not crafting, the tables, what's that called? Crafting tables. Things like your fermenting barrel and so on. So, that's a brief overview of everything. So you started your day, you've checked your Ferry Orders, check them every day because they give you upgrades to your abilities. They give you new recipes for making like your fermenting barrels and all of these craftables that I'm going to do another video on later. And they reduce the stamina of doing things around the farm. But one of the things you also want to do every single day, and let me actually, while I'm thinking about it, I'll come over here and get into my feed. Once you have them, and we'll talk about how to get them later, the barns, or coops if you want to think of them that way, for your cluff owls and your woolums, which are the goats over there, you come in, you'll pet them. It works just like in Stardew, where you get affection with them, increases your chances of better stuff. You know, throw feed in their feed maker. Eggs and milk will come out. This basically is the spot on them. So eggs, and you can see I got 1 quality, 1 lower quality. And you'll see here, it lets me pick up premium feather. As they get higher and higher affection, they'll have a greater and greater chance of dropping stuff like this. They'll have a lower quality and a higher quality. The premium feather is the high quality. I got 2 of it. And let's see. Yep. And then I got horns over here. The splendid horn. Also got 2 of. So that should be one of your daily tasks, plus taking care of your fields. Fill the feed. You don't have a ways to you can kind of automate your watering with the sprinklers from the water fairy, but you won't have automation for hoeing and harvesting. Now while we're here, we're talking trees. You can see there are different types of trees. I've got ones like these Makokos and the Numb Lemons that are 1 tile. They will grow and they will harvest every single day 1 fruit of that tree during their season. The ones that take up 2x2, like the Wisty Peach, will go every other day, but you can harvest them 3 times when they do. Which is also what the coconuts are up on the hill. Your 4th thing that you need to worry about, and he kind of ran off. Let's go see if we can find him. Actually, let's go do this first. Is your Totokaku. We'll talk about him when we come back, because I want to demonstrate something with him. So, going into town, Lethe Village is going to be your main place for most of your farming stuff. Every village has a general store that you're going to get your seeds from. Hit them up all the time, especially as you get new biomes, because, for example, if I come to Lethe here, and they don't really have good stuff for, let's see, yeah, you still have the stuff that you have at the start, but you don't see anything here for either of my biomes. Oh, yes, you do. They got the curry herbs now. Each one will have a different one for your biomes. So Shatola will have a lot of good ones for the waterside biome. Argene or Argen, the Holy Capital, will have stuff for the cave and so on. But your other big place for growing your farm is going to be over back here, the Renovator. You have 1-time upgrade for like 2,000 Gorilla to get your kitchen upgrade, and then you have continual ones for the Cluff Owl and Woolen Pens. and your farm size. The Cleffowl pens and Wool'em, you can see I'm only at level 1 on them. I haven't bothered going up. But they start at 3, you start at 3, and it goes to 6, and I don't know if it ever goes up to, like, say, at level 3 goes 10, or if it also stays at that 3 per level. Farm size increases the size. You saw how big my field was already. So this is going to be the guy you're going to come to a lot for that. But once you have those pens, you got your third person that you're going to come to, which is the Canelu Trader out here. The blacksmith's good too, but not as much for the farm. The Canelu Trader. He's going to be good because he's going to first sell you your Totokaku when you first get it. He'll get you the Totokaku feed. It has 5 levels that you can buy feed for. Each time you feed it, it'll make it a little bit level. It'll make, as you can see, it increases their speed, unlocks new actions. At level 2, it lets you dig holes. You'll find places that your controller or your Joy-Cons, or if you're playing on a console, I don't know how it'll signal it on PC. You'll have a vibration function going. So it'll be like, oh, there's a hole here. So you dig the hole, and you'll find a cave with either like an Hello doll or a treasure chest, and the treasure chests are usually some kind of recipe. We'll buy that to show you how to feed your Totokaku. You'll also come here to buy Clefowl's Wool'ems, and I've already got it, but he'll also be the one where you'll get your feed maker recipe, your level 1. You'll get the level 2 feed maker recipe through late game once you get unlock Unicorn as one of the characters that you can do character stories for. And your third one will be from turning in, I believe it's 30 Canelu dolls. There's, I think, 40 in total. So, once you've got your feed, you'll come back to your farm. Find your Totokaku, who should hopefully be right by the entrance. He tends to roam and wander. But, let's see. Yeah, you're not there right now. So we gotta find it. There it is. Just like your Clefowls and Wool'ems, you have the option to pet. And then it's going to ask, hey, do you want to feed them? So like I was saying, yes, feed the Totokaku. At level 2, you got the digging a hole. Level 5, you can now swim in rivers and seas. So if I go down to Shatola and go up to like where the submarine is, rather than having to click on the submarine to go into the water, I can now take the Totokaku down there and find more things. But that's for your travels. Now, that's kind of your basics of your farm. You've got everything there. But, I mean, there's depth here. Like I said, we saw with the Ferry Orders. That's really where the depth in this comes. Progressing your story will get you more seeds and stuff, and that's how you'll complete more Ferry Orders. So, for example, on the Earth Fairy here, Moonfruit. I haven't found any Moonfruit yet. Makoko, I have found the seeds those you can buy in Chapter 5 in that little town. And the Nitro Pineapples you get in Chapter 6 as drops or gather points in one of the dungeons in there. So, definitely you're going to progress the story. There's definitely that focus on the JRPG thing. It's really a question of, well, what do you care most about of this, of how fast you're going to go through the story? But I do recommend Chapter 3 at the latest, or at the earliest. You rush that. You can see how much I still have on my Wind Fairy, because this playthrough, I didn't finish up and get the spring stuff until really late in my first spring, so I'm making up the difference. Whereas you compare it to, my summer and other ones. Let's come back here. You can see like the Fire Fairy I'm almost done with. I've got 3 things here. One of these is going to be, probably the Royal Eggplant is going to be a second tier beyond that. Wind, I've got a lot here. Water is not as much. Mostly it's the exploration, more Clefowls kind of thing, not the harvesting. And then Earth, which is stuff a lot of late game, like Eden Rice. You get that in Chapter 5. Makoko, you get that chapter 5, but it only harvestable. It's a tree, but it's only harvestable in summer. Moonfruit, I still at chapter 8 haven't found this seedling. I don't know if it's a tree or a plant. Nitro pineapples, again, that's late chapter 6. So, what you want to do, rush the things. You'll also see that these here you can get wind and water, earth. I already got the fire one. I don't know what the fairy stones do. And let's see if we can find them in valuables. Fire fairy stone. Yeah, so it doesn't tell you what it does. Maybe when you get all 4, it'll accomplish something. I don't know. But that might be how you unlock your last 2 classes. I don't know. I'm late chapter 8, and you can see, I still have 2 jobs. So don't, sit, don't ignore the farming side of things. The farm is important to this game. It's not a major focus like Rune Factory or Stardew Valley, where, like with Rune Factory, you use the farm to get all the materials you need to make your recipes, or, this has the cooking too, but, the buff system in Rune Factory is a bit more in depth. You have, getting to the monsters for things like that so you can make better gear. You don't have that quite that level of depth as something like that, but it's still much more in depth than, say, Sakana of Rise and Ruin, which is a similar game, a similar genre of that RPG farming life hybrid where they put more emphasis on the farming side of that, but it doesn't have as strong an effect outside of your stats. That one's got a good actual thing too. This one, it gives you things. I don't know what all it gives you. Like I said, I don't know what happens when I get all 4 fairy stones. I will find out. That'll probably be a thing I bring up when I get to, my final video on this. But for now, I think that about covers everything. You know how your farming works. You know all your tools. The game is pretty clear with those. There are a few other things I could talk about, I guess. You'll see a few chests, like there's that one over there. You have to wait till winter for that. This lake will freeze over. Not entirely, you can still fish. And you'll find other places you can bomb and all that on the property. But check your Ferry Orders, or don't, depending on if you want spoilers or not. The Ferry Orders is going to tell you a lot. Like I said, it shows the moon fruit. I have yet to find those seeds. It shows how many things, for example, let's see, fix every area that can be fixed with a repair kit. That includes level 1 and level 2, and it tells you exactly how many there are. Build maximum rapport with all friends. That tells you exactly how many friends you're going to have at 10 levels each. So, it definitely will spoiler a few things if you look at it too deeply, but don't sleep on these. These are great recipes, great things. This is how you get all your crafting things, like, your flour mill, your fermenting barrel, and so on. And these will be useful for making great recipes for then coming over here and cooking, which you need for some great buffs. Let me see if I can find a good example one here. I think it's... here we go. Fire, earth damage up, 32 hit points, stamina regen speed up, wave, earth damage up, ice damage up, plus all these boosts to your stamina. Here you go. Physical attack, magic defense, earth damage up. There's one for slashing damage somewhere. For, like, if you like the fighter class, or, wind ice damage up. This is great if you like doing the mage, the avenger, or the whatever Acel's class is called again. But yeah, you have great recipes here. You'll get great healing because, to be honest, the picnic sandwich, even at the high quality version, will fall off very fast at late game. I mean, look at how much, I'm level 65 and I have 5,500 hit points. That 2,200 is less than half of what I've got. So if I'm like, oh, I need to heal, don't sleep on it. Anyways, that is it for today. Don't, if you have any comments, questions, let me know in the comment section below, of course. Feedback, whatever. Let me know what you want to learn. And probably a month or so from now, we'll get that master level version on this. But otherwise, I will catch you guys next time. Remember to like, subscribe, and a thank you to my 15 subscribers so far. We are growing faster than I would expect. But in the meantime, I will catch you guys next time. See ya!